I'm Abby Ashola, sitting in for Carol Jenkins. The program is Black America. With us today is Farai Simoyi, who has worked as a designer for several major celebrity brands and is also the founder of The Narrative, an innovative retail concept store in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Kianga Milele, also known as Kiki, is well respected as a fashion designer, and she pioneered women's urban wear in the mid-90s with Fubu Ladies, the first multi-million-dollar women's urban brand. She also has her own line called K Milele. Welcome, ladies.
Thank
Hi,
you.
thanks for having us.
Yes. So we always start the show by asking our guests to place themselves in Black America. Kiki, place yourself in Black America. Where are you from and what were your influences?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York, raised in Atlanta. I'm one of 5 kids, the middle child. We were Panther kids. My parents were Panthers. And
Black Panthers?
Black Panthers.
Wow.
And a lot of how we were raised was just on a lot of Black traditions, African traditions, and we were really all about the community and about culture, and all of that definitely helped.
And
How I am influenced today. My mom taught me how to sew when I was very young. Well, we came from an arts and crafts family, so my mom was always, she was a teacher. She always incorporated art into everything that we did, especially celebrating Kwanzaa. A lot of things were making things and gifts for each other. So, you know, I'm just happened to be the kid that just picked up on the sewing and wanted to continue it further. And once I found out I could be a fashion designer, I just kind of stuck to that path.
That's amazing. And Farai, we featured you on Black AM, our web series. So we know a little bit about you. We know that your father moved you and your family here, well, to West Virginia.
Right.
From Zimbabwe when you were young. How did that shape you as a person and as a designer?
Yeah, I think living in the U.S. and growing in a Zimbabwean household, your parents just want you to excel. You know, we're immigrants, we're new to this country, and, you know, you kind of want, you know, the white picket fence, you know, the whole American life. So for me, my parents really instilled education and academia and just really to express yourself, you know, being in a new culture. So, you know, my family, in terms of like making clothes and being designers, it was something that was just already instilled in us because it's something that we had to do growing up and my parents had to do growing up. So whenever I knew that I could become a fashion designer, it just sort of seemed natural and just seemed like the right step into, you know, becoming where I am today.
Okay, so you two are friends and you've worked together. How did you start working together?
Farai and I worked together at the Nicki Minaj collection, and you know, we just we got along really well, and our energies and our ideals flowed well together. And every time I'm working with someone, I really kind of, especially younger in the industry, Farai has had tons of experience. Like, I just try to give him a little of the real,
Yeah.
you know, about
The
the
real
industry
deal.
itself. Yeah, so I'm always
That's
kind of like, okay, girl, so listen. You know, this job might be cute, but you need to make sure, you know, I'm
Yes.
kind of like, so, you know, just kind of taking on, you know, I
Kinda
always
as a
feel like I have a
mentor.
responsibility,
Yeah.
you know, like if you know things, then to make sure that you share them. And, you know, because I was learning a lot on my own and I didn't have really that. So it's important.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So next in fashion, you both were contestants, you were teammates, and I feel like you weren't just any old contestants, you came and made a statement.
Yes.
So there was the Urban Wear Challenge, you were at the bottom, and you ended up speaking up about appropriation in fashion. We're gonna take a look at the clip and see how that played out.
I personally disagree that we're in the bottom. We were given streetwear and we designed from our perspective. And the thing that I've noticed in the fashion industry, it's mostly one voice that's heard. The high-end brands and designers are taking ideas from us every single day. And it only becomes cool when it's high-end. For a lot of us, minorities, the underprivileged, we want you to see us, but it's so hard to be seen.
So it's not easy to speak up about race issues, and you spoke up. What gave you the courage to speak up like that?
I think, you know, Kiki and I had been working really hard and we're under stressful situations. You know, there's not a lot of time given to us to make the clothing. And for us, it wasn't about race. It was more about culture And we came designing from our perspective. And I think what really frustrated us is that we just wanted, the judges or everyone that was there to not necessarily have to agree with our point of view, but at least understand it and get the culture and get the history of it. And for us as being designers in the industry for so long, we've created so many amazing lines, so many amazing products, only for them to be taken from us and then resold to us, and then only have become popular once they become high end. So for me, it had nothing to do with race. It was more about cultural appropriation. And if our work is going to be appropriated, where's the credit? Give those artisans or those young designers credit, or find ways to collaborate with them. So that was more of my frustration with that particular episode.
Absolutely. And you weren't alone. Kirby Jean Raymond, who is the designer of Pierre Moss, he spoke up for you. So how do designers begin to fight back? Like, how do you counter this issue?
It's a tough question. Even when you take it to the law side of taking, designs from somebody else, we're really not protected in terms of fashion law. And I think what we need to do is be steadfast in our voices and speak out. And I think also just working together and collaborating. For me, I would love to see like major corporate retail companies, instead of taking ideas from the designers, work with them. Let's figure out a beautiful collection and build together. So for me, it's a difficult question. It's something that I believe we're navigating, but I think for us, it's about telling designers to continue to tell their narratives and continue to tell their stories.
And I feel like social media is a big asset to young designers and young creatives of all types to be able to share their work and really have it, like a lot of people who have taken away from young creatives, or just like creatives in general, larger companies, they've been called out because you're able to have almost like your trademark on it via social media, where I did this first. And I feel like that's kind of like something that we have the power over. So I would just kind of say to creatives to share your work. When you do these things, don't wait for someone to do it for you. Like I am in my house with my iPhone taking pictures of new things that I made and create, getting friends of mine to take pictures in it, and, just kind of figuring out ways of getting my work out there with what I have, using what I have to just push my vision forward.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's important, like just kind of.
Yeah. So what were you
Go for
thinking
it.
when Farai spoke up that way? I mean, you've been working together all this time. You've been kind of like a mentor. What were you thinking in that moment?
I was loving it. I was just like, that's my girl. I thought it was amazing. These are things that we do talk about. And, I think it was the perfect time. We were very frustrated just in the fact that we were at the bottom. We kind of felt throughout the competition that we weren't really that they weren't really getting our point of view.
Yeah. And it was the Urban Wear Challenge.
Yeah, it was the Streetwear Challenge, and it was, I knew what I felt like they expected from me.
Yeah.
And, but our inspiration was Brooklyn. We're from Brooklyn. When we go out of the house every day, we see people walking around. If you go to a street fair, there's just always something happening in Brooklyn. So you can go out there, there's a street festival going on, and you see people dressed in things that they made, or they take vintage and they repurpose, and we kind of like have this vibrant, just creative nature, and we just go for it, and we're just, and then, so that's what we were trying to kind of give out, like, it's just the pure, authentic vision of creatives coming from Brooklyn.
Absolutely.
And this is where the point was that when we do this, maybe there's a photographer there, they take the photo of it, it ends up in some kind of, streetwear trends thing, like companies pay a lot of money for street trends where they get different festivals or different things like that, and they take the images, and then people build their collection off of the inspiration from the street.
Wow.
So it's not going to be something that you've already seen before.
Absolutely.
It's going to be working with what we have and just all this creativity. So for us to kind of be in that position, it was
It must have felt
it was really
wrong.
kind of like it was just like, what?
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense to us. And I think also because we were cast on Next in fashion, we wanted to make sure that the work that we did wasn't already seen and that it was next, like what is coming up next
Yeah.
in fashion. And for us, what we designed in that streetwear challenge is something that I believe if you see it in a WGSN, which is a trend service company, if that same look was remade by a high-end brand, that look would be considered cool and the next best thing, and then you're going to have all the celebrities buying into it.
And
Yeah.
the statement is from experience.
Exactly.
Like, this is what happens.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
But you had another major designer in your corner,
Yes.
Prabal Gurung. He called your print emotional.
Yeah.
And for me, that kind of resonated with me because I know that must have felt really good. He's been called the master of prints. So
Yeah.
we're going to take a look at that clip as well.
awesome.
Should we talk about this?
I'm originally from Zimbabwe, and a lot of the men, they'll wear a tunic shirt and pants to like events, weddings, or prayer. So we wanted to incorporate that into our silhouette, but then also modernize it and have a lot of fun with the print.
It's incredible. To me, like when it came out, it immediately told a story. So, as a minority, and I know this, it is so difficult sometimes to be your authentic self and bring your culture and everything. Fashion at the end of the day is about being visible, and I'm so proud of you too.
As an artist, as a designer, you just hope people get it.
Yeah.
So for him to get it to the level of what he's getting it is
Yeah.
just like,
Validation from someone you admire.
Oh, give me a hug. No, please.
Kiki, please describe what that moment felt like and what it
No,
meant to you and what it
let me
could have
try
meant
again.
to other designers.
first, my friends call me Waterworks.
Oh,
Well, the thing is, that's where the level of emotion came in the streetwear challenge because it is so personal. God damn it to hell.
it's okay. It's okay.
But that's, some people are like, what the hell are you crying all the time for? Like, we're artists. People find value in what we do because of the celebrity. That was accidental. The value I find and what I bring to it is being able to inspire people. I use art as a form of therapy. I feel like creativity, I was able to use it and it saved my life. It's so much deeper and so much emotion, and I put that into everything I do. So the feeling that I got when Prabal felt it and understood it felt really, really great.
Wow.
And it was just the opposite in the streetwear challenge, where it was the same feeling and passion and emotion,
Yeah.
and then taken and kind of squashed. So it's kind of like you have both ends, like the emotional feeling of he gets it, and then the emotional feeling of, no, this doesn't look like anything that I understand. And so it's this very opposite ends of the coin, and
Yeah.
but that's why we do it. So,
I mean, it's a big deal to be on a show like that, but I feel like the both of you're already a big deal. You were a big deal before you got there.
Yeah.
I mean, the work you've done in the industry is historical.
Yeah.
So how did FUBU come about? How did that even happen for you? Tissue, please.
Thank you.
Let me help you.
Take your time.
Better. FUBU came about. I moved to New York, and I was going to FIT, and I was attending FIT with Jay, one of the FUBU guys, and I was so happy to be here. I just pretty much said yes to everything. So I was like designing for various different people were coming to the school asking for help with this and that, and I was great at sketching. So Jay was they were looking for help, someone to kind of take their ideas and make it real, and I ended up working there, and then
The rest is history.
yeah,
But
we
then
were
you went
like
on?
still out of the house in Queens, and then we got the backing, and just we're just.
That's pretty amazing.
It was really, it was such a unique and amazing experience, and it was so new, and being a part of something in its infancy like that, and just kind of watching, seeing how. I mean, that's another thing too. Like, this is how we were creating a line that existed from what we were already doing. Like, if we wanted camouflage, we had to go to the Army Navy store. Like, then we created our own camouflage.
Yeah.
Like, the way that we were dressing and everything, like, we just kind of took that, and that's why it was for us, by us. It's for the people who are wearing it, as opposed to us taking things that, and then doing it, how we do. Like, we take it and we create something that didn't exist with what we had, but we just gave it to them like that already,
Yeah. And then you went on and did celebrity brands, and you have your own brand, Kami Lele.
Yes.
So how has that been? How do you feel about your career right now?
I feel finally at a place where I really felt like I needed to kind of get back to what made me love design, what made me want to be a designer, and that's just really living in the full vision of my experiences and what I want to push forward and artistically, and just put all that out there. And I didn't want the constraints of various different brands. So it feels good to have that.
That's awesome. And Farai, Miss Store Owner, you have the narrative, and you're all about sustainable fashion, and you've worked for major brands as well. How do you feel right now in your career?
I honestly feel like I'm just getting started.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the industry for about 14 years now, working mostly with other brands and helping them, reach a level of success. And for me, I've kind of taken that power back and decided to, start the narrative and really start working with, younger brands or upcoming brands that are from all over the world, and just providing a home for them where they can be seen. Because part of our story on the show was, we want you to see us, where can we be seen? So the narrative has become that platform, and since the show, so many young brands and designers have been reaching out saying, like, can I get my stuff in your store? Like, what, so for me, I'm just saying yes, 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 like, this is the place where you will be seen, and you will be loved, and you will be celebrated and welcomed with open arms. So for me, I'm just getting started. I'm really excited to see, where it's going to take us.
Yeah, and sustainability is really important to you. Why is that so important to you?
Sustainability is important to me because we live in a world of overconsumption, and there's just too much stuff out there. And for me, it's really bringing it back to the roots, and I think it's from, my African culture. It's like we use materials and resources that come from the earth. So, jewelry made out of wood, jewelry made out of boning or cow horn, backpacks made out of leather hide or goat hide. So, and these are things that are from the earth. So I believe sustainability is important. I think that is the future of fashion. And just being more conscious about the way we spend and what we put our money into. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and it's Women's Month. So why is it important for women to have a voice in the fashion industry? Why is that important?
I feel like it's important for women to have a voice in general. Especially if you're considering that there's such a broad, everybody's shopping. So if it only comes from one point of view, you're not really getting the other point of view, which is, the same with everything. But I feel like women are awesome, so.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
But I think it's just, with anything, diversity brings various different visions and points of views, and you can't really serve a diverse world if there's no diversity in the people serving it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of awesome women, you had a small baby at the time of filming the show.
Yeah.
How did you do that? How did you balance
Honestly,
that?
I have no idea how I balanced all of it. So when they approached us for the show, I told them, I have a 10-month-old baby. And so we were having conversations back and forth, do you want to leave him behind? Do you want to take him with you?
Wow.
And for me, I was like, it is not an option. I cannot leave him. you know, can I bring him with me? And they were super supportive. You know, I was able to bring him to the hotel, and I had my mom, my husband, and my sister all take turns to, you know, help me with the baby. It was difficult. You know, I was breastfeeding at the time as well. So, you know, when you're breastfeeding, it takes out your energy. It's very emotional. And especially when you're breastfeeding, you don't want to have like negativity within you because you can carry that onto the food supply for your child. So, yeah, during lunch, when the cast was having lunch, I would be taken to a separate room and I would have to pump during that time. It was really difficult, but I kept telling myself, like, you're creating a legacy here. Your son will always be able to see this and he'll be so proud. And for me, that's what really kept me going. And I just kept pushing through. And I also know that there's so many other mothers, it's not just me, there's so many other mothers out there that are working moms that, you know, have to travel, you know, days, months at a time. So for me, I just felt comfortable knowing that I'm not the only one and that there's other mothers that share similar stories. So I was like, I have to keep pushing through and I can't give up. So I just had to keep going.
That's so cool.
You know, you mentioned Sunday took his first steps while we were out there.
Yes.
Sunday is your son.
Yes.
And
He
My son
took his first steps in the hotel room.
Wow.
Yeah. I have it
Yeah.
on video too.
Yeah,
So.
it, like that
Yeah.
was.
Did I
there
tell
was-
you the next morning?
You
whenever-
tell us on air. That was the
Oh, that's
episode with
right.
Philip Lim, who was also
Yes.
amazing and very supportive in his advice and everything that he was giving to us. I think he was awesome. But yeah, when we're like, they were asking us how she was handling it all, and she mentioned that he
Took his
so yeah, I mean, they didn't show that part, but when they showed that everybody was like, like all the judges were crying, everybody, they were like,
It's like you both reached a milestone together.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Definitely.
yeah. So it was just an emotional time on top of us being passionate about what we were doing and like, you know, fighting for our voice. It was also just, you know, she's a new mom, she's breastfeeding, he's taking his first steps while we're there. Like it was just, it was a lot really happening.
Yeah.
And it started to kind of really, for us, I think, become clear that there was so much more to this than just being on this show and trying to win.
Right.
It just
Yeah.
became like, it's just so much more. It's the epic moment for
Yeah.
us in so many different ways. So
And I
once
think-
we realized that.
And I think also because Kiki and I were representing so many other designers out there. And I think that's why we wanted to continue to speak up while we're on the show. Because if you're given a platform like Netflix, and especially being in the positions that we're in, where so many people look up to us, it's like, how can we be on the show and not speak up and not, you know, state our voices? Because
Statement.
you know, because there's going to be people looking up to us and wanting to, and they're reaching out to us right now, asking us questions like, how can I get into this? How can I be more assertive? And how can I be more confident in the work that I do? So for us, it became so much more than.
I mean,
just
and that's who
winning.
we are.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as if this is something we've been silent about and waited for this opportunity. Like, we don't shut up about it. Like,
Right.
so,
You can't.
yeah. So it was it's really pretty much, if you know us, it's like, yeah, all right, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they would do.
So we always finish all of our shows by having guests finish this statement. The power and the strength of Black America lies in. Kiki, how would you finish that statement?
Our creativity.
And I would say through our narratives. If we don't own our stories, somebody else will take ownership and take rights to it. So I think it's owning our narratives.
That's awesome. And you both mentioned the next generation of designers. What do you want to see from the next generation of designers? What do you hope would come from something like this?
Well, I
the
hope
next
that we're
generation.
inspiring people to, you know, tell their narratives, tell
Yeah.
their stories, be true to themselves, be true to their art, really believe in what they're doing if they feel that it's right. Even if people don't get it, just keep doing it. And if it feels good to you, it feels right, then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Wonderful, ladies. Thanks to Farai Simoyi and Kianga Malele for being with us today. Thanks to you for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Abby Ashola, sitting in for Carol Jenkins. The program is Black America.